Yo, what's up, guys? So today I just wanted to make a video on why you should be able to give up the good to actually go for the great. So sometimes, if you're, let's say, for example, in the stock market, if you're investing in a coin for years, right? Maybe it's giving you a decent return, 4% every year, maybe 5% every year, but you're not getting those returns that you really want. You're not getting those 5x, the 10x, the 20x. So, the best way to get that kind of return is not to go and jump into the high yield stocks that's going to give you, promising returns of, 30% APR or whatever. Those are high risk coins. Those are high risk stocks. Even in crypto, those are high risk coins. Those are meme coins, the ones that are going to give you 100x. But sometimes it's okay to give up the good to go for the great in terms of, let's say you're investing in blue chip dividend stocks. You can take the capital that you've accumulated over time and you can actually go and invest in a business or invest in a franchise or sell that to go and invest in maybe a house, and the house will build you equity. And with that equity, you can then rent out the rooms. You can get another house after that with that built up equity. So sometimes it's okay to risk the good to go for the great. It's in whatever business it is. Even in we look at movie stars. I'd like to get the Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'd like to use him as an example of a good person who risked the good for the great. He was, 8-time Mr. Olympia champion year after year. He was Mr. Olympia, and he said he was so bored of it, but it was good because it was giving him money, it was giving him, fame, it was giving him recognition, and it gave him the opportunity to boost his name and his brand more in front of the world. But he decided that, since it's all good, that's great. I want to go for the amazing stuff. I want to go for the stuff that's next level, which was acting. Because he realized that acting, he can get $10 million for a movie. He wasn't getting that kind of money bodybuilding. But even though bodybuilding was good, acting was better. So he made the decision to go for the great. So he gave up the good. He said, I'm not going to do the Mr. Olympia anymore. I'm going to put my hand in acting. I'm going to go to the acting classes. I'm going to start from the bottom. But he said he didn't want to be a side character. He wanted to be the leading man, which is very important. So he meticulously chose the leading roles that were going to allow him to be, head box office, his face in front of the movies, the billboards and everything like that. So other brands can pick him up and he can get more advertising deals, more movie deals, more TV show deals. His brand is even more important and more at the forefront, so he can sell his own products. So it's very important for him to go for the great. He said he was done with the good. He was done with the Mr. Olympia. He went for the great. And that's so important because we know Arnold Schwarzenegger now to be, Terminator 3. Imagine if he didn't go for the great, who would have been Terminator? We have no idea who would have played that role, but he played that role amazing. So it's very important in your own life to see, where can you go for the great? Where can you go for the excellent? You're doing good right now, but if that's not where you want to be eventually, try to figure out how you can go to great. And that's some of the stuff that you should be looking at when you have that downtime, when you're bored and you're trying to figure out your life. Write down some notes, figure out what you can do better. How can I earn more money? What do I have to do to, my annual income right now is $40,000 a year. How can I get to 60,000? How can I get to 50,000? What do I have to do? How can I get to 100,000? What are the routes that I have to take? Who do I have to talk to? What courses do I have to take? What business do I have to start? Where am I going to get the money to invest to go ahead and make that money, eventually, maybe in the next couple of years? Do I have to, start a car rental business? Do I have to start a lead generation business? Do I have to start a sales business, cleaning business, whatever it is? Figure out how you're going to get that to that next level. How are you going to go from good to great? That's some of the stuff you should be brainstorming when you have some free time on your hands. So, figure out how you're going to get from good to great. That's one of the most important things to do right now this year. If you have some free time, how are you going to get to the great next year? How are you going to go from 50,000 to 100,000 next year? How are you going to go from 100,000 to 200,000 the next year? So figure that out when you're having your downtime and your free time, and just go from good to great. Don't be afraid to risk the good to go for the great. So if you guys like this video, subscribe, like, comment. I'll see you guys next time.